Hello everybody, my name is Elnator, and welcome back to Minecraft Legacy. Now, cows! First thing, cactus. Second thing, third thing, I fixed the world. The world size from the world selection screen and the time were both incorrect. So, the size was incorrect because of how I imported the indev chunks into the infdev world, so I had to fix that up. And then the time was also incorrect because it was reset when I switched to infdev, although I best guessed estimated my time after adding up how many days went by in indev. So I added that time plus the current time to properly get a much more accurate time to how old this world really is. I mean, it has no effect. All it did was just change the time. So, kind of just reset it back a little bit. Anyways, so I found one desert with one cactus. I was very disappointed because I got lost almost twice, once for sure, almost twice. But when I was trying to retrieve the cactus, so that was a bit difficult for me. However, thank goodness I was able to retrieve it. So I actually want to line this up with this one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to build a cactus farm, and this will be the only episode where I actually of 108_1 because I want to get to 1.0.11. There's sand down there. Ooh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There you go. Now this one's going to be much more cacti because they're much smaller. But what was I gonna say? So yeah, the world is fixed. Well, much more accurate, even though it's not gonna have any effect on gameplay because Minecraft's whole time system, well, not the time system. Well, nothing really happens until it hits the very limit, which is 32, not 32,000, that's the indev limit. It's that day. And yes, it is a full block. Don't judge it. But, it's the indev time thing. Every time it switches to 32,000, it goes all the way back to 0. So it was difficult for me to actually estimate how far how many days went by, and I just added all of that up. Long process. It took me a while because I had to manually go through every backup of mine, all 65 of them. Just kidding. I only had to go through about 25 of them because in backup 39. I updated to 0.31 from February 3rd, 2nd, 4th, I believe. So every time before that there was no daytime because the time day-night cycle hasn't been added yet. So I only had to go through relatively a few of my backups, but I made sure to every time I saved the world, I would make a whole new save file. So that's how I ended up with 65 over the course of about 3 versions. I'd say worth it. I'd much rather back up more than I need than have not enough backups. Which I'm mad at myself because, unlike Minecraft Nostalgia, I did not save the world right as I updated to InfDev. So unfortunately, I do not know how old the world was when I imported the chunks, because by then a lot of time had passed, both in game and real life. So I just added on to whatever was already there. Jeez. Man, sand really does sound weird. Oh well. The sounds are working enough. Actually, I could expand this a few more. Oh yeah, you finally see yourself holding stuff in third person and in your little view model self. Although your view model in your inventory turns dark when holding a 2D item. For example, all my tools and torches are upside down. That's strange. But solid blocks and an empty hand, you are still fully lit. So it's only when you are a 2D item. So that's an interesting bug. Now, I literally skipped 107 and went straight to here, so I can't tell you when exactly, but between 106 and 108, this happens. Yeah, you can still walk in your inventory. In fact, only a few more versions, and then the whole animation gets changed. And the animation changes to the stiff, like forward and backward only motion. That cactus is gonna take a long time. Still mad that I only found one. Even though it's a really small desert. Okay. So I'm pretty much done. This was a lot more talking than most episodes, but mainly me explaining stuff. Then again, this version, yeah, I want to show it off, but there's really not much. And boats, I forgot to say boats. I keep forgetting that boats were added. I'll make one soon enough. Maybe. So yeah, boats finally get added. I'm sure I'll show those off soon. Yeah, because there is a lot of ocean between here and the edge of new chunks. Now I gotta keep going farther and farther because Cactus by now is nowhere near here. I need to go a great distance out to be able to find any. Bah, I'll take your wool. So I've got a whole lot of it. And I could actually use... Actually, no, I'll be good. Such strange sand noises. Moo. I'm really hoping this cactus grows soon. Because I want to prove something about it, other than it being a solid block and it can float. Hold on, let me show you. Yeah, it's basically just like any other full block, except it hurts you. So, oopsies. Come on, cactus. Let's see. Other than that, and leaf decay. It's a bit crazy. All these trees are supposed to be normal, but they have kind of disappeared all around here, and I'm not sure. It seems very sporadic. I haven't found a pattern to leaf decay in this version, so not quite sure what to tell you. So when I was walking to and from the new chunks where I had to find a desert to get the cactus, at one point I was at over 1,000 saplings on the ground because all those poofy trees out there, they felt like decaying a lot. So these are like leaves, like I don't know, a third of the leaves. All those poofy trees, man, they were going crazy. So over 1,000 entities at one point. I think it reached like 1010 is the max number I saw. So Right now it's only at 33, but that's because there aren't a bunch of saplings on the ground. So that was quite concerning, and I started dipping below 60 FPS, and I got concerned. And this cactus doesn't feel like growing, but I'm hoping you guys already figured it out. I'm gonna put cactus on all the sand. But I think right after this, I'm gonna back up the world, then update to Alpha 1.0.11 because I don't have 9 or 10. And I have not heard of anyone who has 9 or 10. If you do, or if you know someone who does, please share the wealth. I am trying to collect as many considered lost versions as possible. And I have been for a few years now. Oh, and these doors have decided to be new. These doors are almost as bipolar as me. Sometimes they play the old sounds, sometimes they play the new sounds. I don't know, sometimes it plays a mix of the both, which I hate even more than it being new. Oh well, they have a mind of its own. And I'm still yet to figure out exactly why. Sometimes it does new, sometimes it does old. But I guess that's all. So next version will technically would be able to be multiplayer, except it was only the Mojang server, so unable to join. But anyways, let's see. Look forward to the next episode because more stuff. So thank you all for watching. Bye.